It's Jane, and today I am going to make a junk journal. And the first thing, I had this old book and I had taken out all the pages, and the book was not in very good shape and it fell apart as I was taking it apart. So what I did was I just stuck some lace on there on the spine. That's the first thing I did, and I'm going to leave these edges on sticking out like that. And it's going to be on the grungy side, so I don't, that's my aim anyways. And on the inside, I want to reinforce it, and I just happened to find this piece of, I think it's linen, in my scrap pile, and I'm just going to glue that down. And I'm going to leave the edges sticking out at the top and the bottom. So right now, you're not going to really see this linen because it's going to be covered up, but I need to reinforce this book. So here we go. I'm just going to glue it down. This is PVA glue. And I use PVA glue to glue that lace down as well. This is getting a little bit thick, but I think I like this. For the spine, I like to glue a little bit on the thicker side. It doesn't seep through the fabric as much that way. So just stick it down. I don't care if it's it doesn't fit evenly on the sides because it's going to be covered up with the end papers of the book. So that's what's going to look like. That. And I cut this hole out here in the book. There used to be the title of the book. Let's see if I can find it. It's in my trash can and I can't find it. Oh, wait, here it is. It was like this. And I cut it out with my my utility knife, and that's that. So what I'm going to do now is I found this picture and I want to put it in here like that. So first though, I want to grunge this up with my ink. Oops. Cover my glue. So I got this ink pad. This is, what color is this? Coffee bean. It's so grungy you can't read it anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna grunge this up. You know what? I think I'm gonna rip the edge a little bit because I want it even grungier. Here's my X-Acto knife. Kind of lift it up a little bit. I just want the first layer. There we go. Why don't we just do that? Okay. A lot easier. Really grungy now. With that. Okay, now let's ink it up. I think my ink pad is getting a little dry. Okay, what do you think? I think it's grungy enough. Then when I put that in there, yeah, so it's a little bit, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And it's going to go like that. So, I like it just the way it is. Oh, I moved it. Oh. Okay, I like it just like that. So I'm going to take my glue. I'm just going to use my PVA glue because it's handy. Hold it down. Oh, that was my X-Acto knife. And my toes weren't there. Yeah. A little bit of glue seeped through, but no biggie. Isn't that cool? Alright, now I have the cover and I can set this aside to dry. I'm going to work on pages. The signatures. And I have no idea how many will fit in here. It looks like only 2. It's a pretty thin book. So I have a bunch of things here that I've collected. Alright, so I have an expandable pocket that I show you how I made this in another video. Look for expandable pocket. That's going to go in there. Maybe this piece of lace, this old piece of book. This I found in an old book, and they're blank pages except for this one. And I'm going to use that in there as well, even though it's smaller than the book. Just some odd pieces of paper. And these came from Dreaming Hearts on Etsy. Look up Dreaming Hearts. And I darkened the edges. They were already dark in the printouts, but I darkened them up a little bit more. Also, I got these from her. I got this paper from her, Dreaming Hearts, that I made into tags. All these. And these medallions I got from her. These are super. I love these. It's an eye. Isn't that great? And all these other little medallions that I'm going to use. Some paper, an old postcard, some old writing, maybe some of that. And this is some of her paper. I printed on both sides, full sheets. Isn't that great? So I'm going to use these as some pages, or, you know, cut up and use as little pieces of collage. So let's get started. The first thing I need to do is make some pages. So I'm going to set these things aside because these are going to be stuck on the pages. So I'm going to stick those aside for now. So I can concentrate on making pages first. Let's get rid of these things and make some pages. I gotta find some paper. That kind of wrinkled, didn't it? I'm gonna take something flat. Like, how about this old book? And these are weights. These are 5-pound weights. I'm gonna put them down there until that dries. So I'm gonna go look for some paper. This paper. Yeah, this is gorgeous paper. I got this out of a scrapbook. You can see it's got the holes in it. I didn't like the scrapbook, but I loved the paper. So I gotta figure out how large I want. I can't move it now. I'm just gonna get I'm discombobulated today. I'm like all over the place. All right, I want the pages to be 7.5 by 5. Looks like 5 1/8. So I want the pages. So write that down. Look at me. I am all over the place today. All right. Pencil, 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 pencil. Again, I cleaned up today, so I can't find anything. 5 1/8, and that's going to be times 2. What did I say? Oh, it's the wrong book. 7.5 by 7.5. So 7 1/2 by 10 1/4. So that's how large I want to make the sheets, because when they're folded in half, they'll be 5 1/8. So I need to cut these, and I'm going to use my super duper cutter. So I'll be right back after I cut the pages. Alrighty, I am back. And I've got my pages. I cut 4 pages. Usually I cut 5, but this paper is thick, so I just cut 4 of them, and I'm going to fold them in half like that. This is my phone folder. Alrighty. Now, in the center of one of these, I'm going to put this. There, that did the job. Nice. And that's going to fit in there. And that's going to be perfect. I think 2 will be perfect because, you know, you're filling it up with stuff, you know, so it's going to get thick. Okay. So first, I think, should I go in? I'm just gonna poke holes right through and make sure that they go through this as well. So I don't even, you know, it's not a big deal to me where they, you know, I try to center them a little bit, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How's that? 5. 5. All right, there's my marks. So I'm just going to take my awl. This is from C.S. Osborne and Company. I'm just making holes right through the fold. And those of you who are familiar with making signatures know just what I'm doing. And this one here, I gotta put new holes in this one. It already has holes in it because it was in a book, but I need to add the new holes. Where's the center? There's the center. So there. Alrighty. Alright, now let's see if I can do this right. I need thread. I use heavy duty carpet thread. It works. And you do 3 times the book. 1, 2, 3. I always add just a little more. Thread my needle. Oh, and there's already some thread on there, and I'm going to go ahead and use the thread that's already on there. It's the same thread. That'll be for my next signature. All right, so this one has the little book in it. Find the center. I think I want to start from the back side. If you want the thread hanging, I don't want any loose threads in the inside the book. I want the loose threads on the outside because they're going to get glued in. So I'm going to start from the outside here. Outside in. So, and leave, I don't know, 3 inches. And then you go down your next hole, which is here. And then you go up the next hole. And I can't get it in there. Here we go. Then down. Okay, now pull this tight, but you don't want to go too tight because you don't want to rip anything. Then I'm going to go, so I'm in the center of the book here with my thread. I'm going to go back down through the previous hole, then up through the next hole, if I can, here, and then down. Okay, and then we have our threads nice and tight here like that. You can take the needle off and you can tie it right here. Nice and tight. My fingers don't want to work today. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, and then you can cut those, I don't know, about an inch. And there we have our first signature. Cool. So I'm going to do the next one, and this one won't have the small pages in it, so it'll be a lot easier. This is working out. Take that needle. And we have our 2 signatures, like that. Yay! Making it fit nice. Okay. All right, I'm back, and the mistake I made is I wanted to sew this through the book spine, but I did each one separately, so they're going to be double threaded, but that's fine. So I need to get my needle back and some thread. 1, 2, 3. Might as well cut 2 while I'm at it. 1, 2, 3. Needle. There you go. So I'm going to start from the back of the book. And do I want my threads on the outside? No. So this time I am going to put them on the inside. So I start in the center of the book, just like we did before. Go through that hole. I cut these holes with my Dremel, by the way. I just use my trusty little Dremel tool, but you can do it any way you like. I don't know if a punch will work. All right, because there's lace here, now I have to find the holes. Is that it? Hey, I found it. Okay. Go through here. And I'm going to leave these long because I may add a dangly thing to it. So we'll leave that way. So there's one in the book, all attached. See? All attached. And now we're going to do the second one. Well, I'm probably going to have to do more than one part to this video. It's taking me longer than I expected just to do this first part. Alright, I'm going to cut that a little bit. Cut this one just a little bit as well. There. So, I've got the book all sewn together. Got the pages, as wonky as they are. Like that. Okay. Now I have to add the end pages to this. And what do I want to do? I know I wanted to use these. Actually, that would be really nice, wouldn't it? But I have to cut it to... I'm making it the same size as the end paper that was already in there. So I have to cut this. And when I cut it on my machine again, I might as well cut both of them. Be right back. Alright, I've got my pages cut like that so that I can stick them in there like that. But now this edge, because I cut it off, is not grunged up. So I'm going to ink it up. Alright, my memory filled up on my phone, so I don't know where I left off, but I don't think you missed too much. The last thing I showed was pasting the end page into the book, and I still have this page to do, so if you missed the first one, you'll see this one. But so I have to... Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love this paper. All right, this one I'm going to put on the back here, the same way. All right, again, I'm having phone troubles. I had to clean out my phone. It's just getting too full. I don't know what I missed, but I put that on the back, grunged up or inked up the sides of the book on all sides, all the edges. And that's what I did. So I think that's what you missed. But now it's time to stick things inside the book. And I know that I want to put an expandable pocket in there. So do I want it right in the front? I think I'm going to add it a few more pages, maybe in the center here. Maybe not. Maybe right here. So what I do is just glue the 3 edges right here. And I'll use my matte medium. I think you could probably use a glue stick, PVA glue. But I had this handy, so I'm going to use my matte medium. And hopefully that works. Sometimes it makes the paper wrinkle, so we'll see what happens here. Try not to get any glue inside on the white, on the center part here. Is it straight? It looks pretty straight. And if you want, you can reach inside there and press it down. At the same time, you can make sure it's not sticking in places you don't want it to stick. That should do it. Like that. Now, what I'm going to do with these little medallions, if I can find one right here, I'm going to pick one of these. And I think, which one do I want? There's all kinds. Oh my God, there's so many to choose from. It's hard to choose. I think I like the hand. Yeah, like that. And what I'm going to do is, on this one I am going to use my PVA glue because it's stronger. And you just do the top part of this. Just the top part of the circle, like halfway down. And stick it down in the center somewhere, or wherever you like. Oops, and I slid it. And make sure it says no glue on there, because I slid it. There it is. Yeah. And that'll hold. And try not to be grungy like me. Get ink on my fingers. That'll hold it down with a little flappy thing like that. Yeah. And then you can put stuff inside that pocket. And what else can I add in there? Oh, these are pictures that I have in my store. They're actually, this is my Aunt Olive. Isn't she cool? That's my Aunt Olive. And this is my cousin and my uncle on a bike. So I'm going to put those somewhere in these books. I have 4 pages of vintage photos in my journnally.com store. This was pretty nice. I love these journal cards. Look at all these journal cards that I want to find a spot for. I can make a pocket. How about a pocket? I'll make a pocket out of this. Yeah, you can stick those in there. So let's find a pocket. I mean, a place to put this pocket. I might add another one of these because I made a goober right there. Does it really matter? No, but... Oh, I was able to wash it off. Yeah. Okay. So let's put that pocket there. I'm going to round the corners a little bit. Around here somewhere. There it is. My corner. That's what that's from. And now I just want to glue around the outside edge there. Again, I'm using my PVA glue. Might as well just take the cover off. Okay. I kind of push towards the center like this, just kind of push it in, and it gives it a little bit of lift. I don't know if you can see that. So you just take your fingers and before it's completely dry, just push a little on the outer edges. And see, that fits in there real nice. So I'm just going to store these journal cards in there for now. And see where I want to use them later. Is that all of them? I think that was all of them. Okay. Then I have these little tabs that I want to add somewhere. It says, do I want it this way or the other way? It was for clock or watch parts. It was in this little drawer that these tabs were in. I'm also selling these in my store if you want to check those out. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and put that in somewhere. Maybe I'll hold off on that one. Ooh, I found a spot for this. So this one I need to get my thingy out here. And I am going to use my, if I can find it, a glue stick on this one. Let's see how it does. I left it out, so I had to cut the top off. So let's see. Oh, it's still good. Left the cover off on my desk. So of course it dried up. It was there for a few days. So the top part, it was brand new. The top part of it was all dried out. So I just cut the top off with some scissors. And it was fine. Yeah. Oh, I like that. That's a page from an old book as well. We have so much more to add. I'm starting out with just a bunch of pockets, and oops, I'm pressing the wrong spot. There we go. And we'll move on to other things. I love PVA glue. I have gallons of it. I use so much of it. And then again, I just slightly push up just to give it a little tiny bit of a lift there. And we have a pocket. I think I like this one. This one has some reddish color in it, so I think I like that one. Yeah, I like that one. But I want to add some sort of ribbon on there, and how about this instead? This is cheesecloth that I stained, and I don't know if I can tear it. I can't really tear cheesecloth, so I'm going to have to cut it. See if I can get that center in there even. There we go. Look at that. Yay. Like that. Oops. Yeah. And then I have, I don't know if you'll be able to see the picture in this old slide. It's like a castle. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but somehow I want to get that in here. But I want to cut a hole in the page and stick it in there, so that when you turn the page, there'll be some light in there. I might just put it up in the little corner like that. I think what I want to do, I'm just going to draw it around here. And draw there. So that I know where to cut that out. Where's my ruler? Where's my little, here it is. This is the first time I'm going to use this. Yay. So I can cut out that little rectangle. That's going to be cool. But first, I'm just going to erase some of my lines here. I actually like some of the lines showing. Is it this certain like look? And then I'm going to ink up my center. Now, you can find old slides all kinds of places. I know I must have gotten this at some thrift store somewhere. Yard sales. So I'm going to glue up just the paper part of this. If it spills over onto the film, no biggie, right? Hi everybody, it's Jane, and I'm back with this journal because I ran out of room on my camera, which is actually my phone, and so I had to go and clear that out. And so I had finished the book, and I just want to do a flip through of the book, of this junk journal book, to let you see what I did do to finish it all up. So in the beginning I showed you how I bound it and put this on there, and I think I put these extra things on there after. I added all these tags, and I showed you this, but these are the parts that I didn't show. The front page, I left that blank, so whoever gets this journal can go ahead and write in what they want in the little frame there. And what do we have here? We have our first pocket, which is made from an old postcard. And I have some little pieces of a journaling card and a tag and just another little random piece of paper that I've stained and put in the pocket with some lace on there and flowers. I just put some random vintage papers in here, which I stamped and stained. Then the next page I have some more. I have some of my Victorian printables in here with some writing space and a little card in here that you can write in there or tuck something in there. And I showed how to make this little expandable pocket in one of my videos. So I put one of those in there, and it has some goodies inside there as well. Some little pieces of paper and an old, this is a vintage card. It's not a reproduction, it's the actual vintage card. And what else do I got in there? An old Big Sioux cabin camp, official camp, some sort of ticket. I don't really know what it is. Anyways, that's what that. And then I have a little metal too in there and some other vintage papers. And it's very grungy, the way I like it. This is the middle of one of the signatures, and I left the threads long and stuck these on the ends. And birds and more pockets with some cards and tags. And in here I have a little glassine envelope with some more of these little medallions in there. And this old like plastic coin and a little hangy thing. And some more of my printables with an old vintage card. Most of this stuff is vintage paper. There are printables and vintage paper in a mix. This is just, there's no pockets here, it's just space for you to write things in with some lace, some actual lace in there, and doilies. And this is an old, like, clay dollar bill. I'm actually selling those in my MERCARI store, I think. And a tassel. And some more grungy doily. And this is just placed in there as a placeholder. And this is a real vintage stamp. Republica of Cuba. 2-cent stamp. It's a real vintage stamp. And some more birds and my more printables. And here I have an old, this is an actually old kind of almost rusting, it is a little bit rusting, paper clip. I have a whole bunch of these. And this paper with some more writing area inside. And on the inside is a little flap that you can hold some vintage papers in. One of them I stamped and grunged up. And this is an old receipt, an actual receipt. It's not a printout. And I just kind of put that in. I'll put that in later. Oh, and down here is another little pocket that's made from a piece of lace and some tickets. And these tickets are part of my printables in my store. And another one of those. These are also in my store. These little tabby things. I have a bunch of those. And another pocket. And inside the pocket I have an actual old, a real vintage postcard. I did grunge up the edges of it. And this is an old piece of crochet lace. And an old tag that I put a little tab on the card. And a little window with an old stamp in it. And the stamp actually had it on both sides. The stamp was like glued together on both sides. So I left it that way and I put it in between. This is like a coin holder, you know, for coin collectors. And I grunged it up and stained it, and I've got that in there. And an old frame with a vintage picture and some more flowers and lace and more flowers and another of the vintage printables. Here I have some writings and a writing area with a couple pages. So this is vintage paper as well. I found these old school notebooks. And let me see what else we have here. Some more. This is an actual drawing that I did. It was just, I was just goofing around and did a little drawing at some time, and I found it and put it in there. And another little, like little booklet inside a booklet. This was actually came out of a vintage book, and it had all these blank pages in it, so I just pulled it out of the old book and put it in here. Some more of these little medallions on the strings. And am I out of camera? I'm sorry if I was. This is an actual piece of calling card that broke off, and I just stuck it in there. And some, I don't know what this is. It must have been on a, I don't know, on a piece of clothing or something, but it's this old vintage cloth thing. And I put a little bow on it made from gauze cheesecloth. And another pocket with another tag in it, and another old postcard, and another one of my printables. This is actually my aunt. This is my Aunt Olive. She's part of the printables. I love my Aunt Olive. She's not around any longer. She was 96 years old when she passed. And here is a pocket made from an old, from junk mail envelope, which I just cut out the window, folded it in half, and then glued it down and made a pocket out of it. I glued it down on the three sides and made a pocket out of it. And I just took this old piece of, this is actually part of the envelope, as you can see. I think it's from an insurance company. And I just stuck that in there like that. I rounded the corners and stuck that in there like that. And these are some little cards that I made that you can get from my store, jmljournals.com. And this is a little flappy thing here that you can write on. And this is, and I don't know if you could be able to see it, but it's you can see my finger move back and forth. It's an old slide that I put in there. Some old trading stamps. And there's a little kitty in there. And this is what is that thing? I don't know what that animal is. But anyways, I thought he was cute and I put him in there. And some more writing space. I'm trying to leave some writing space for you to use. And this page is the very last page. I left that blank for whatever you want. And this is my cousin and uncle. My cousin Francis and my uncle Robert. And the fish tail. And that is my little book that I made, and I'll be putting this in my store for sale if you're interested. I hope you enjoyed this little book. I had so much fun making this book, and I am going to make more because it was a blast making this book. I mean, I've made other books, but I think this is probably going to be my favorite so far. I keep saying that. I think I say that every time I make a book, it's my favorite. But so far, this is my favorite book. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you go ahead and make your own. And I hope this was inspiring and gave you some ideas on what you can do to make journals for yourself or as gifts. And I hope you have a great day. Be safe, and I will talk to you again. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.